defying the far right. In Wandlitz, a small town 30 kilometres north of Berlin, the neo-Nazi NPD party is protesting against a new hostel for asylum seekers. But the Wandlitz residents are staging a counter-demonstration. Matthias Oberhof is one of the organisers of the colourful counter-demonstration. The 63-year-old retiree alerted his fellow Wandlitz residents via email when he heard about the NPD demonstration. The NPD doesn't always meet with such determined resistance. Unfortunately, they have a groundswell of electoral support in some areas of eastern Germany, but not in Wandlitz.
Yes, we want to make a stand against the far right, and we're not going to let a few people with their wrong-headed worldview tell us what we should and shouldn't do here.
This is not Wandlitz. This doesn't belong here. I'm the principal of the local high school, and I told all my students to come.
All our work here in Wandlitz for the refugees has gone so well. We're not going to let this ruin it.
We were in support of having the refugees here from the very beginning, and we believe it's good for our community.
The far-right demonstrators want to march to the asylum hostel, but they can't get through. In an act of civil disobedience, Matthias Oberhof uses his camper van to block the road. The police aren't happy.
If something else happens here, we're going to have to take you into custody.
I won't forget you in a hurry. You were the first one at my side.
Oberhof has to clear the road for the neo-Nazis. Some asylum seekers look on anxiously out of the windows of the hostel. But they have no need to worry. The Wandlitz residents are determined to protect them, and they make so much noise that no one can even hear the xenophobic chants of the NPD supporters.
It's completely incomprehensible to me that the authorities could give neo-Nazis an official permit to have a stage in front of a refugee hostel.
All Nazis are stupid. Respect to the people who've come here to do something about this march, really.
And Matthias Oberhof has had another good idea.
We're all here, so let's keep on singing.
We shall overcome.
The neo-Nazi chants are drowned out. No one can understand a word. By now, some of the refugees feel confident enough to come outside. Everyone protests against the hate speech of the neo-Nazis in their own way. Mohammed Azim and Zahir Abbas, refugees from Pakistan, decide to join the counter-demonstration. After 2 hours, the neo-Nazis throw in the towel.
We've shown that protesting against racism doesn't have to be dangerous. The best thing for me was that so many of the refugees were not afraid to join in and look the Nazis in the eyes because they felt supported by us. That was our goal.
The residents of Wandlitz have driven away the neo-Nazis on their own and in a peaceful way. They all, residents and refugees, feel empowered. More people express their solidarity and are keen to make a difference.
I'd like to join in.
Thanks, we need all the help we can get.
A year ago, there was much less public support. The plan to set up a refugee hostel in the town of 20,000 met with massive resistance. 2 days after the protest action, Matthias Oberhof explained how it all began. He takes us to the place where the Citizens' Action Group sparked by the refugee hostel first met. Almost all the Wandlitz residents wanted to prevent the hostel. The hall at the Golden Lion restaurant was full to bursting with 400 people, the biggest gathering there for years.
Eine Stimmung zum Schneiden.
Could cut the atmosphere with a knife. People were handing out flyers at the entrance, equating refugees with criminals, saying our property prices would fall. And I felt sure that I was going to be heckled off the stage.
Und ich fühlte mich bestätigt, was ich am Vorabend mir schon dachte, du wirst heute ausgepfiffen. Auf einmal setzte rhythmisch...
Suddenly there was a lot of clapping, and then I plucked up the courage to finish my speech and say, let's accept these asylum seekers. Let's not say what the rightists say, the boat is full, or tell them, like Mary and Joseph 2,000 years ago, that there's no room at the inn. Even if there are problems, let's welcome them. Everyone can do something. I'm prepared to give language lessons or donate toys.
zu geben oder Spielzeug zu spenden.
The NPD attempts to get the Wandlitz residents on their side backfired, and the neo-Nazis were thrown out of the hall. The local Protestant and Catholic churches set up a citizens' action group to support the refugees. They offered Bible classes on the subject of fleeing and asylum and invited the refugees to take part.
There are a lot of stories in the Bible of people having to flee, and I was really impressed with how the Catholic community discussed it with the children and took the refugees as an example to try and help them to understand what it means to have to flee.
A lot of Wandlitz residents helped out with everyday needs, like Bernd Trögel. The 75-year-old is going shopping with these Chechen asylum seekers. He speaks Russian and can translate for them. The Chechen women say they feel safe in Wandlitz, but they were very afraid when the neo-Nazis came to their hostel. Bernd Trögel translates.
Yes, it was terrible for them. One of the men gathered up all the children and took them away. They were afraid because they weren't sure what might happen.
The family suffered a lot in Chechnya. One child was shot dead in front of his relatives, but they don't want to talk about it on camera. Benedict was also persecuted. When she fled from Cameroon with her 1-year-old toddler, she was already pregnant with her second child. The journey to Spain was dramatic.
A group of us together paid for a dinghy. A few Nigerians, Cameroonians, a few Congolese and me. We bought an engine and set off. But the engine broke down in the middle of the ocean. The Spanish Coast Guard saved us. But 4 people from our group died.
Today is a special day for the refugees. Social worker Volker Krieming has organised bicycles. They've been donated and a few volunteers from Wandlitz have fixed them up.
Thank you very much.
For the asylum seekers, it's a new feeling of freedom. Bernd Trögel is back from his shopping trip with the Chechen women. In the supermarket, a local couple spontaneously donated €20 to the refugees. Trögel explains the attitude of many local people.
When you meet people face to face, people often change their attitudes. That's one reason why we've organized a festival for next Saturday, because we know that bringing people together is very important.
The Wandlitz residents help the refugees where they can. They bring old furniture and hand-me-down clothes. Matthias Oberhoff helps with the carrying.
I just can't bring it to the junkyard, so I'm happy to be able to do a good deed. We live in such luxury. I'm a refugee child myself, and when we came here after the war, I can remember very clearly how we were housed. An empty room and a sack of straw and one cupboard.
The donations store is filled to the brim. The refugees can come here and take what they need when they move out of the hostel into their own proper accommodation. Many people who were against the refugee hostel at first have changed their minds. They donate or help out where they can.
We did it, and I really would say that's down to the discussions we had in the Citizens Action Group that we've now got this huge store of donations, the German lessons, the bicycle workshop, and that a lot of Wandlitz folks have realized we don't need to be afraid.
To try and dispel any remaining concerns, Matthias Oberhof and the other members of the group have organised a party at the refugee hostel. They've been getting ready for days. The weather's not great, but the local branch of the Technical Relief Agency has set up some tents. For the refugees, the party is a chance to say thanks. They've all prepared typical dishes from their home countries. And the Wandlitz residents have also contributed some local specialties.
Enjoy the party, everyone. Thank you, thank you.
Noch ein schönes Fest. Dankeschön, Dankeschön.
A klezmer band provides the musical entertainment. And there are a lot more visitors than expected.
We haven't had any contact with the refugees so far, so we were just curious. We wanted to see who was coming, who's living here, and how they're doing.
And we also really like to eat, so of course we wanted to come and taste all the food.
As well as the new culinary experiences, there are plenty of musical exchanges, and everyone's having a good time.
The mood is really good. Last week we thought the mood can't be this good with all these racists around. This time we thought the mood won't be good because of the bad weather. But there's this feeling of solidarity.
Wandlitz is changing. There is no place here for ignorant racism or xenophobia. The far right has lost its support. The Wandlitz residents are a shining example to other towns and communities, not just in eastern Germany.